Hello again and welcome back to my garden. We're now into the first week of March, which the weather office is telling me is spring. Well, let me tell you now, it is not. Spring is when we get the equinox, the 21st of March, and that is when we can start looking forward to our longer days, our lighter evenings, and all those wonderful things that bring on the late spring and summer. Now today I'm going to be doing some more work in the utility garden. I've got another little job that I've been doing just down by the greenhouse, which I really think is going to work well with the cold frame being relocated and repaired as well. And I'm going to be planting out a few bits and pieces this week to carry on the plants that I've been growing inside the greenhouse and bring them outside to give us that lovely spring colour. So without further ado, let's crack on and start enjoying the dry weather for once. Enjoy. Well, hello and welcome into the utility garden. I've been doing a fair bit of work out here. You can see I've put a new bracket up on the fence post here to take a hanging basket. When I first looked at it, I couldn't put the bracket straight out because it would impair the opening of the gate. I couldn't put it sideways on because it just wouldn't hang over the top of the fence. So what I had to do was cut a notch in the side of the fence post at an angle to bring this out. Let me show you now how I did that. I've also done a little bit of tidying up along this side of the utility garden and painted up the planter, and I'm going to be putting some of the first plants in there over the course of this week. Get that starting to go, thinking about having a tall planter on the top of it with some trading plants on there as well. But generally the tidying up's gone well and I'm pleased with that. I've shifted all of the wood out on the old trusty wheelbarrow and got that into the wood store at the bottom of the garden. I'll show you a little bit of me just doing that tidy up as well. Little job that I did do was I just painted up the front of the planter, and now I've just got a few strawberries which I'm going to pop into the top here, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a couple of little holes, pop the plant inside, and I know these are going to be very, very happy in here, and hopefully they'll give us a nice little trail over the edge as well, and we'll add some alyssum, nasturtiums, bits and pieces to go with these and give us a nice little display. Now, during the recent storms, I did have a cold frame round in the utility area, and that just got picked up, thrown around and really, really badly damaged. So I've got some gaffer tape, stuck it back together, repaired the frames and everything else. It's one of these plastic cold frames that you can buy in your local DIY shops, but very, very useful for the overspiller plants from the greenhouse. So I've decided to move it and put it next to the greenhouse in an area that hasn't been dug or worked for well over a year. So very, very messy with weeds. So I had to put a lot of effort into tidying that up. I might show you well, there we have an installed cold frame. There's still some work to do in the area, and the weeds and things will all have to be got rid of, but that's another job for another day. I'm going to be putting some of my stronger plants out into the cold frame from the greenhouse in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. Well, here I am in the greenhouse, and we're sorting out these beautiful blue irises that we planted in the first episode, because these are going to be ready to go outside, and I'm so looking forward to growing these outside. There we go, there's another one there. So I've got 3 pots of those, and I'm going to plant these out round the Alamantia tree, and they're going to give it a lovely bit of colour. So it's time to get these up to the garden and planted. Well, there we have the first of the spring bulbs planted now around the base of the tree. I'm sure they're going to give us plenty of colour during the late spring and the early summer now. And as you can see, we have got some rather nice buds coming on the tree itself, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing how that comes out later this year. Well, as it gets dark tonight, I thought I'd show you the dividing area as it is early evening. It looks quite nice. Well, I think it does anyway. So just a little bit of something to let you look at. As I've now got a few things going outside, it is freeing up some space on the rack in here, which gives me the opportunity to plant some more seeds. So I'm going to be planting some radish seeds, and very similarly to the way I did the cabbage seeds, I'm just going to make a couple of little rows inside my tray. Compost in here is nice and damp, so it's not wet, but it is damp. Just hold these seeds. Just gently again space these out down the rows, just to try and protect them a little bit when we clean them out later on. Should just be enough here for these 3 rows. Radishes are fairly slow growing, so as the air is still cold and the soil is still fairly cool, I don't expect to see much of these for around about 3 to 4 weeks. And with those again, I'm just going to lightly cover them over, just using the marker. almost done. Ready to put over onto the shelf. Now, as we get a little bit older, we do like to sometimes moan about our aches and pains and bits and pieces. However, there are some nice things as well, and one of them, because today's my birthday, my wife has been and bought me these really lovely stainless steel spade and fork to use in the garden. So I'm really looking forward to getting a bit of mud on those as well. So a big thank you to Julie for those. Now, over the next week or so, I'm going to be starting on the new design work for the front garden. I've got the plans drawn out. I've got to lift up the wishing well, reshape the lawns, start digging new beds for shrubs. But that's all going to be in the future. So now I'm just going to pop inside and sum up what we've done. Well, there we are. That brings us to the end of week 8 of this journey through a year in my garden. I must say we've got a lot done in this past few days. Started off in the utility area, putting up the new basket, clearing the area up, got the plants put into the new planter, and that area is now ready for when I get the delivery of sand and cement to actually tidy that surface off. We've also been down the bottom of the garden, put in the cold frame in its new home, and I think that's going to be a very, very useful little area as well. Probably use the ground there to grow some beans and things in this year as well. We've also planted out the blue irises that we actually potted in the very, very first episode of this year. And they're around the Alamantia tree, and they're going to give some lovely late spring colour. I'm so looking forward to being able to show those to you later on. I've shown you my birthday present of my new spade and fork, and you can't beat stainless steel tools, and I'm really, really so happy to have those as well. And that really brings me to the end of this episode. Once again, thank you very much for your company. It's so lovely to have you with me. It just leaves me on this birthday weekend to grab a small glass of Shiraz. Wish you all the best. Look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.